With over 25 years in public administration under his belt, he claims progress and not perfection. I'm talking about George Natembeya, the former regional coordinator for Rift Valley, and now who is gunning for the Trans Nzoia County gubernatorial position, facing off with none other than the veteran himself, Chris Wamalwa, the Member of Parliament for Kiminini constituency. Now, how will this play out? But before that, let's try and look just how much of a powerhouse George Natembeya might be, and what are the chances that he is the likely person to succeed Governor Patrick Khaemba, who is the current Trans Nzoia boss. To join me in this conversation is none other than Herman Manyora, but let me introduce myself. I'm yours truly, Richard Mwenja, son of the soil. Always a pleasure having you on Siasa Brigade. It is our second edition, and as they say, Safari ya Bamba ni Machero, we are truly honored to have you on this journey. We hope it will be bigger by the day. Sir, good to see you.
Thank you, Richard Mwenja.
You're looking good in a blue shirt.
Thank you.
All right, I saw you're doing a fantastic job with Jadiel Kabiru on the live shows.
Yeah, we are trying. We have done 3 live shows. We want, I think, 3 or 4.
All right.
We are happy and that our followers are keeping the journey with us. We are extremely
All
happy.
right. Definitely. Safari ya Alfin and Zana Shilingi, right?
No.
All right. A number of you have requested that we go live as well with Siasa Brigade, but it will take a bit of time. But we shall grant you that request in the fullness of time very, very soon. Also, Samuel Nirungu will be up with his show, The Big Question. So stay tuned to this channel, Herman Manyora. So we're looking at the chances of George Natembeya taking over from the current governor, Patrick Khaemba. Before we get to that, let's look at the authority that DAP Kenya stamped in Trans Nzoia County. And a number of people are saying the candidature of George Natembeya is quite high because of the backing of President Uhuru Kenyatta, CS Defense, Wamalwa, and also being endorsed by Raila Odinga. Could it be true that he is a state project?
You know, I don't know what state projects are, but I know that Natembeya is in Azimio. I know Uhuru is a chairman of Azimio Council, and that the presidential flag bearer is Raila Odinga. So if that makes Natembeya a project, then so be it, according to those who think so.
For those countering that narrative, are also saying that Chris Wamalwa is Moses Wetangula's project. Correct. Are they justified to say so?
Well, Chris Wamalwa is in Fort Kenya, actually the Secretary General, and Weta the Fifth is the party leader of Fort Kenya. So if that makes Chris Wamalwa project, so be it.
All right. Yeah. We have seen DAP Kenya, a newbie party coming into the politics of our western region, and it has stamped quite much of authority. If you are looking at how much it is rendering Ford Kenya, which has been the big name there, kind of irrelevant this round, what would you say it is the contributing factor towards DAP Kenya's success this far? And what role does Eugene Wamalwa play? The image of Eugene Wamalwa, is it stamping the authority of the late Kijana Wamalwa, and how much he was a darling to the Luo community that they are trying to relate with any party that is probably affiliated with the aspirations of the late Kijana Wamalwa?
No doubt DAP, the new kid on the block in Trans Nzoia and Bungoma, is a force to reckon with. There's no doubt about that. And secondly, there's no doubt that Fort Kenya is in the receiving end. There are many reasons why DAP Kenya would be doing as well as it's doing so shortly after being formed. But top on the list, which in my view may be the only reason why, is Wamalwa's style of leadership. Wetangula. Wetangula's style of leadership is a poor leader. He's not forceful. He's not collegial. He does not seem to be a team player. But much more than that is he just took Fort Kenya, put it in a briefcase, and took it to his bedroom.
And that's it.
That's it. A once vibrant Simba party became a party in somebody's briefcase in somebody's bedroom. It was not felt anywhere, even in Bungoma itself. So it was always obvious that should another party come around, Fort Kenya will be a casualty. In fact, Wetangula must count himself lucky that he has the support of William Ruto, financial and otherwise. Otherwise, he would have been wiped out of the face of Trans Nzoia and Bungoma.
But in that same breath, Wetangula has been named as a very wise politician. He doesn't put all his eggs in one basket. You've seen him now, he's still defending his senatorial bid in his respective jurisdiction and so forth. So does it somewhat you can say the future of Ford Kenya is still secured under Wetangula.
I'm saying he could even win the Senate seat, Wetangula. But that's because of William Ruto. On his own,
He's
he
not
would
a
not even have won an MCA seat.
Like Cleophas
He's
Malala
such
is.
a poor politician. You know, he's lazy. He's
All right.
tired. And he's a selfish politician.
I see.
Ford Kenya was a serious party. But these fellows killed it. Reduced it to a village party. First to Bungoma party, then to a village party, then to a bedroom party.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's talk about matters with regards to going back down memory lane and looking at the veterans in the Western politics, the likes of Martin Sikuku. We've seen Kijana Wamala coming on board, Muskari Kombo and so forth. And this far, there are very few people who can probably compare or liken the likes of Eugene Wamalwa, Chris Wamalwa, and Moses Wetangula to the veterans. But George Natembeya has been likened to, he's been judged from the same level as Kijana Wamalo and say Muskari Kombo. Not even Noah Ekesa can match George Natembeya.
You know there's something, yeah? Mm-hmm. For you to go far in life, whether it's business, education, religious leadership, political leadership, there are always factors that help you go up. You know, you could be born in a family. You could be born in a family that is a political family, a family with money. You could have money. You could have influential friends, and etc., etc. But there must be something you bring
on the table
as a person. Do you have something in you? And that's what Natembeya brings.
What could be that factor in Natembeya that has overshadowed the rest?
Yeah, he has something in him. There is some leadership in him. There is fire in his belly. You can feel him at Natembeya. So, even when we say William Ruto is a Kalenjin kingpin or Rift Valley kingpin, to be a little fair to him, it is not just because the conditions were favorable. William Ruto has something in him. Raila Odinga has something about him. That same thing that Uhuru Kenyatta has. It is that thing that people like Wetangula and Mudavadi are lacking. They don't have it.
Or even Cleophas Malala and Ababu Namwamba.
Malala is still a young boy. Let's not overjudge him.
All right.
Malala is still finding bearing. We can't be harsh to him.
All right.
Still young. But people like Mudavadi, people like what Uhuru, William Ruto, Raila Odinga, what those people have, Mudavadi doesn't have. Even an inch of it, even in within the fingernails. Wetangula doesn't have it. And for that reason, Natembeya can go far because he has that thing. The leadership is in him.
All right.
You can feel it. You can see it. Yeah.
Trans Nzoia County has a bucket full of a number of challenges and setbacks it is facing. Top of the agenda is land issues, quota issues, especially in Cherangani constituency. We're also looking at issues of poverty level, poverty index, a number of many numbers of teenage pregnancies. Of course, if you look at the development record of Trans Nzoia compared to other counties, Trans Nzoia literally isn't up there. You can't rank it 8 out of 10. And Natembeya wants to change the fortunes for the people in Trans Nzoia, for maize farmers, and for those families that are under the capture of poverty and so forth. With regards to settling land issues, could his track record as the regional coordinator for Rift Valley come in handy and say that in as much as he's trying to settle land issues, security, and dishing out title deeds alongside President Uhuru Kenyatta, that same energy is going to take Trans Nzoia County? Can people have that confidence that he'll deliver on such challenges?
The first challenge that Trans Nzoia has, those you have mentioned are challenges, but the first one is it is a multicultural, is a melting pot of cultures, of different ethnicities, and that is a big challenge. I've been privileged to work on a peace program sponsored by the Office of the President and funded by the UNDP, and for a long period of time. So I know that Trans Nzoia looks peaceful, but within Trans Nzoia, the many competing forces in terms of tribes. We have the Kalenjin, the Luya, the Teso, within the Luya sub-tribe, we have the issues of 1 versus 17. Within the Kalenjin, we have the Sabao who feel really they have not been taken care of. We have the Nandi and we have others. So it is that's the biggest challenge, to make these communities work together, live together. And this must be reflected within the political leadership of the county. That is the first challenge Natembeya will have to face to make everybody who lives in Trans Nzoia feel they are part of Trans Nzoia, while at the same time recognizing the rights of the majority who are the Luhya to feel that this actually is our home and that they will welcome other people, they are the Nandi, the whatever, but that is their home, they are the majority there, they need to have a say in the politics without being exclusive. That is the biggest challenge. Other challenges you have mentioned certainly are there. It is shameful that a place we all know to be where people go for land, where land is almost in abundance, is a terrible shame that there should be squatters in Trans Nzoia, of all places. We should have squatters in Vihiga, not in Trans Nzoia.
Food basket region.
Food basket. And now when you have squatters and people with tiny parcels of land, what my people from Vihiga are calling points, then you are going to have issues, and we already have issues of hunger. How can you have people in Trans Nzoia going to bed hungry? So those are some of the challenges. And I hope and I believe that Natembeya has what it takes to mitigate those challenges, to face those challenges. He brings on board experiences like no other. In terms of peace, he has been a person dealing with issues of peace as an administrator. In terms of development, you cannot be a regional commissioner, former PCs. You cannot be a county commissioner and all those kind of things he was without handling matters of development. So all these challenges are within his range by way of experience. And I'm sure, people change, but I'll put my shilling where Natembeya is.
Not to downplay the other challenges Trans Nzoia residents are facing, but among the key ones is the issue of the rapid growing population. And in there, of course, the teenage pregnancies. We've seen families come up with an unbearable number of children and so forth. Way back when he was the regional coordinator for Rift Valley, he actually urged people in Laikipia and so forth, the families, not to listen to the ill-informed and ill-intended advice of politicians to have more children to grow the populace and the electorate. At the end of the day, they were trying to convince them, have kids because probably they might help you in future, but in real sense, it is because they wanted to expand the electorate. But should we now borrow the family planning recommendation that he said to Laikipia residents and bring it to Rift Valley to actually Trans Nzoia?
But you see, Natembeya then was an administrator, now he's a politician. He might change and tell people, Zaini watoto, we need numbers. I'm not a believer in these family planning things, at least not in terms of limiting the population.
Limiting number.
Africa is greatly underpopulated. I strongly believe that we have room to double, even triple our population. And therefore, we have 100 years to think about population. It's not one of those priorities Africa should be bothered with. What we should do in Africa, Kenya, Trans Nzoia, now we are talking about, is to increase economic fortunes of the people. Make people have the wherewithal to feed themselves, to take their children to school, to clothe their children, to live a decent life. That can be done without unnecessary attention to family planning. Family planning is a personal decision to space children. But when people bring family planning to mean to check on population growth, they lose me. They lose me immediately.
Check on population and development.
I'm not part of it. I'm not part of that conversation. But I know a woman or even a man and his wife will always know how to space their children. It may even go to how many children they want. It's a personal decision. It should not be an agenda of government to limit the number of children people have. This is not China.
Well noted, sir. There are a number of people who say Manyora, of course, is a renowned political prophet. They actually term me a political prophet because a number of predictions come to pass, quite many of them, and not to dampen the spirit of Chris Wamalwa, the main...
who's a good man, by the way.
Yeah, the main competitor to George Natembeya with regards to Trans Nzoia gubernatorial bid, not to dampen his spirit. Would you say Azimio is likely to have a field day now that DAP Kenya stamped the authority in Trans Nzoia County and then people obsessed with the Natembeya candidature?
On the face of it, Natembeya should just Tembeya over Chris Wamalwa. On the face of it. I mean, there can be no competition. I mean, where is the comparison between Natembeya and Chris Wamalwa? Where is the comparison? There isn't. So anybody would hope for everyone vote Chris Wamalwa gets Natembea will get 7. But that's not how politics works. Look at William Ruto. Who would have known even in my wildest dreams? How could I have even imagined that there could be a time Raila will be facing competition from William Ruto? Who would have imagined? You could have thought Mudavadi, Kalonzo, such. But now William Ruto is giving Raila a run. Where is the comparison between Raila and Andu? So politics has its own rules and dynamics. So you can find, whereas Natembea is way ahead of Chris Wamalwa, other political dynamics can come into play and you find Wamalwa winning. For example, there are people in Trans Nzoia, there may not be many, but they are not happy perhaps with the way they think Raila has treated Mudavadi. Okay? Or they may simply be following Mudavadi. These are, for example, the Maragolis. They will certainly most likely vote for Wamalwa. Then they are the Pukusu subclan, the main subclan. Certainly, they have their own clans and what have you, and small little considerations.
And reservations.
Yeah, and you'll find they are splitting because both of them are from Pukusu, the Pukusu subclan. Wamalwa will get his, Natembea will get his. Then Trans Nzoia has Kalenjin, Sabaot and Nandi.
In Cherangani and all that.
Yeah, and you will expect these people to vote for Wamalwa because of the national politics. So at the end of the day, I personally may not be surprised, will not be surprised, cannot be surprised, won't be surprised if Wamalwa beats Natembea. I mean, people just say, oh, go, it's too bad, but it will have happened. So that's how politics works. Very unfortunate.
All right.
That's why sometimes when I analyze things at the national politics, then people think I hate Ruto. No, I'm just seeing the way I'm seeing politics playing out. And I say in the manner in which these things are playing out, so and so stands very little chance, if any. So, well, I expect Natembea to have a landslide win. But those tiny considerations may just as well give him a run for his money. Not necessarily that Wamalwa may beat him, but he may not have the margin people are expecting him to have. However, the only thing working for Natembea, I've had it whenever I go to Kitale and have had chance to go there and to interact with people from Kitale. They seem to want Natembea beyond the petty things. Petty clan, petty this. I think they are going beyond that. And the only people who may deny him the votes will be the Kalenjin.
I see. All right, we've seen in Bomet County, Isaac Ruto, gubernatorial aspirant, pick a running mate, a lady in that case. We've also seen Natembea pick a career banker, Madam Benea Kapkor, and like his opponent, Chris Wamalwa, who's picked a career teacher, a gentleman for that sake. Would you say that having a woman as a running mate for the first time in the leadership of Trans Nzoia County, this now could marshal women vote behind Natembea's bid?
Let me tell you this. Mother Karua has shown something very interesting, that the women of this country want to seize this moment to swing to the top of leadership of this country. I never expected it, honestly. I never gave Mother Karua that much of a hope. And even after being chosen, I could see she was going to change things for Raila. But I didn't expect what I'm seeing. It seems women in this country want to go for power. And they are going to cause a demography that has never been there before. That we are going to see women voting for because a woman is on the ticket. So Natembea starts off with that advantage. That this Karua ticket has excited women beyond imagination. Yeah.
All right. In as much as we are talking about matters, we are much interested in national politics. It is the local politics that will transform the devolved economies and, of course, the development agenda of this country. And in that particular regard, with Natembea, should he clinch the Trans Nzoia gubernatorial bid, will you say that he's likely to relieve the aspirations of the late J.M. Kariuki of, say, now Trans Nzoia County not having 10 millionaires and 10 million beggars, and probably now turn the fortunes of Trans Nzoia residents, and especially for women who most of the time have been given a back row seat in development agenda of the country? Is he likely to change the fortunes of these people, and what portends the future of Chris Wamalwa in Trans Nzoia County politics and by large Western region politics?
Natembea, I think you mean Natembea. Natembea has his work cut out for him. It's not a very difficult work. You see, Trans Nzoia, you just need to sort out the land issue, land ownership and tenure and so on and so forth. Number one. Number two is to work with the necessary agencies and departments to ensure Trans Nzoia reinstates its production capabilities.
We have ADC lands and
yeah, we don't want people in Trans Nzoia to go to 10 acres, 10 bags of maize per acre. He must get Trans Nzoia out of that and return it where it belongs. 30 bags of maize per acre and above. That is about husbandry, and which you can quickly do by reactivating the dormant departments like extension workers and so on and so forth, and ensuring that whatever fertilizer comes into Trans Nzoia and maize seed is genuine and the correct one, by dealing with the crooks who bring in fake fertilizer and fake maize seed. That he can do. Secondly, he will change the fortunes of Trans Nzoia by moving fast to deal with issues of marketing in Trans Nzoia. It's not just Trans Nzoia. And that's why I've not understood people like William Ruto. You know, he's gone so high up there in the skies, from Minister of Agriculture to the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. And in the first time where he says he was in charge of things. But the fortunes of farmers in Trans Nzoia,
in North Rift,
in Uasin Gishu, in Nandi, continues to dwindle because of very simple things. So, because Natembeya has seen all these things as an administrator, I'm sure he will step in to handle issues of marketing, because it is marketing that is killing farming in this country. Because you grow maize, the weather is good,
cereals board is there,
everything is good, then nobody's buying the maize, then conmen come in, middlemen come in, because you must pay fees in January. You will have to release your maize and throw away, because you need to prepare the land for the new season. You can't hold the maize, you throw it away to middlemen. So the problems of the Great North Rift, Trans Nzoia included, they're very small problems. A well-determined person like Natembeya can change the fortunes of the people of Trans Nzoia.
I see.
Yeah.
Before we conclude now, what would you say should Chris Wamalwa, his main opponent, perhaps do to change the political winds in his favor if he really wants to counter George Natembeya?
There's only one way Chris Wamalwa can increase his chances. This is to go for the parochial, the narrow, the cheap. And it can work for him. You know, make sure you look at the lawyers who are not happy with Raila, the lawyers who are in Kenya Kwanza, and you know, shield them from looking at Natembeya as a performer.
Under 2 months.
Yeah, let them just look at Natembeya as Azimio and Raila, and then, you know, that kind of thing. Go where Mudavadi is, where Ruto is. That cheap way. If he perfected that parochial approach to politics, if he capitalized on that, he can even beat Natembeya.
Well, there you have it from Kenya's most sought-after political analyst, the man himself, first of his name, Herman Manyora, talking about matters Trans Nzoia politics and what portends the future of Trans Nzoia leadership. And actually, among the two candidates, that is two main competitors, Chris Wamalwa and George Natembeya, who is likely to steer the growth of Trans Nzoia County to levels that have not been achieved before. And in this particular edition, we've quite much focused on George Natembeya because he's a person of interest, and a number of you have requested that we actually cover him and really try to break down what is this thing that is making many Kenyans interested in knowing what the future could perhaps portend for him in the field of politics. Well, this is a show, as I said in our previous edition, that seeks to bring forth the main wind beneath the wings of our top two presidential candidates, that's Raila Odinga and William Ruto. We are looking at the powerhouses behind them. We looked at Junet Mohammed in our first edition. This particular edition is dedicated towards looking at George Natembeya. We'll roll out other personalities in our subsequent editions that will be coming to you twice every week. So keep glued to us. But as at now, we wish both Chris Wamalwa and George Natembeya nothing but fair winds and following seas, as the Kenya Navy sailors do say. Until next time, God bless you. See you.